Hello, everyone. My name is Rose Simpson. I'm a librarian at the New Haven Free Public Library, and welcome to Regional Caribbean Cooking. We are here with our creative in residence, Nadine Nelson, and her special guest today is, was it pronounced Karain?
Right.
Karain. Smith Holness. So welcome you two. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Nadine Nelson. I am the creative in residence of the New Haven Free, New Haven Free Public Library. I'm happy to be here today. I am also Jamaican, so it's so great to be here during Caribbean History Month. And I don't know if you have to push that slide. Caribbean History Month to celebrate Caribbean food. Caribbean food is so diverse and represents all around the world, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And I'm gonna have Kay, as she's affectionately called in the community, introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Corinne Holness. As Nadine says, I'm affectionately called Kay. I am the owner and stylist of Hairscape Beauty Salon. I am also a founding member of the Jamaican American Connection, a founder of the New Haven Caribbean Heritage Festival, and I sit on several other boards. It's Caribbean Heritage Month, and Nadine, thank you so much for taking me out of my comfort zone, because most people know I do not go into the kitchen at all. So yeah, Nadine brought me here to kind of like, did I say embarrass?
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna embarrass myself because I'm also Jamaican, so.
So yeah, so we're gonna do a thing.
So let's do that.
So I'm following directions here. I'm told to just be cute, and that's what I'm gonna try to do, be cute.
So we're gonna try and make it interactive, and we're gonna play off each other, and then Kay doesn't know the shenanigans that I have. There is the bowl of beans right in front of you, I think. I did have my cousin who's on here, and we were supposed to have a DJ, but I don't think they got off work in time. And we were going to do some things that we, like how we are in the Caribbean. And in the Caribbean, we like to sing and dance and have jovial time. So we were gonna start with music, and the music, they have these challenges about like not dancing. And so we're gonna do like 5 minutes of like really popular Caribbean songs, like whether it be reggae or soca, and try not to dance or lip sync or, move your body. And then my cousin was gonna teach you some dances, but that will be for another time. So I would say to Kay that we're gonna play off of how do you say different things. And so how do you say what's up in Jamaica, in Patois? Okay.
Wagwan.
All right, so wagwan, so that means what is going on, and so what is going on?
So you have wagwan and watagwan.
So you want to tell people what those?
No, I mean they both mean the same thing, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Right, and so what I'm doing, I try to prepare a bunch of different things because I'm overly ambitious. And food from the Caribbean takes more than 3 hours. So and we're only gonna be here for 2 hours. So, this is a low battery. Oh my God. So wait, let's try and plug this in somewhere. This one, my bag. So can you hear me?
Yep, but there's kind of an echo, like feedback.
All right, are you taking?
Here we go.
All right, do you want to just plug this one in over here, so then it can be charging and then you can use it still, but okay. So I'm going to be cooking and talking to you, and the things that are going on, like we're cooking the Puerto Rican red beans are over there. I have to be doing a whole bunch of things, and like Caribbean cooking class is not necessarily the most interesting online, and so like we will try, because like things like rice has to be boiling for 20 minutes, like eggplant has to be cooking, you know, that kind of stuff. And so, you know, everything is around, you know, 30 minutes if it's not in a pressure cooker or something like that. That the Caribbean is known for their stews. And so I said on Facebook, you know, what are some things that people want me to teach them how to cook? And they're like, oh, curry goat and oxtail. And I'm like, oh, I wish I had like 5 hours, you know, because that's how long curry goat or oxtail. It takes 3 hours at minimum. Like that's if the meat is soft. But most likely it's really, if you don't have a pressure cooker, it's gonna take 5 hours, you know? And so,
which it actually does taste better when it's slow cooked.
yeah, I prefer, like, I don't use a pressure cooker. I prefer it slow cooked. I'm not saying anything against that, but I like my food to be slow cooked. So what I'm making right now is the appetizer. So these are pigeon peas, and they don't look like pigeon peas.
We've got a comment in the chat from Sarah.
Okay.
Caribbean food is a labor of love.
They're usually like a little bit more green, but they're kind of brownish. There are 2 cans of pigeon peas. And I have the recipes for you. Rose, I did send the recipes to you beforehand. And I'm going to right now get up and throw some water on some shrimp.
So what is another name for pigeon peas?
Gandules in Spanish.
In Spanish. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jamaicans would call it gungo.
Who?
Gungo.
Oh yeah, gungo peas.
Gungo
Yes,
peas.
gungo peas.
Now, mind you, even though I do not cook, I do know some things.
Yes. So gungo peas. So gungo peas, I'm off camera. I know I'm off camera, and that's all right because you've been looking at Kay.
Right.
That gungo peas, growing up, I didn't necessarily like them that much because gungo peas in my family was special occasion peas.
Yes.
And
But I think for almost everybody.
well, I mean, some people eat it more than others, you know, like, but I mean, like Kay's saying, like, you know, in Jamaican household, gungo peas was your special peas.
Rice, that's special rice and peas.
And so I think that because I was used to red beans, what you guys in America we call red beans, and we call them peas, that every Sunday you eat rice and peas. And so you eat it with coconut milk. And my mom used to make her own fresh coconut milk. And I think that because I was used to that, I liked those more. And we always had gungo peas like at Thanksgiving or Christmas or some special occasion.
Well, you know, in the islands we don't have Thanksgiving, so that would be
Right. Christmas,
harvest,
yeah.
Independence,
Easter,
yes.
you know, like those type of things, you know. So I just put some hot water on some shrimp, all right, because I'm making ceviche, and the lemon juice will cook the ceviche. However, a lot of, you know, like people from the Caribbean or people from the English Caribbean where I'm from, we don't eat raw fish. And so things that a lot of times our food is like, some people might say overcooked, like when we fry fish or we, you know, make fish or chicken, like, you know, like it's overcooked. People are like, oh, do you want to go on Top Chef? And I'm like, well, Tom Colicchio would say, I want you to make your food, your cuisine. And then I would make it. And he'd be like, the fish is fried hard. And I'm like, yeah, that's how like Jamaicans like their fish. So to make a compromise, I've just put some hot water on the shrimp to cook it just a little bit more than it would be cooked in with lemon juice. And so we're making
Nadine is making.
yes, here. So we're making ceviche or a bean salad, and I'm just calling it a ceviche with the shrimp. And so I'm mixing 2 things together. So I'm mixing the beans and I'm mixing the shrimp together. But this is a really nice bean salad that I show a lot of people how to make. So here I have celery, scallions, some dill, some cilantro, and some parsley. Oh, here's the celery and some scallions. Yeah, I said scallions. And then I just have to cut up the peppers and then put the seasoning on there and cut up the shrimp. Since Kay seems like she doesn't want to do anything, I'm not gonna have her do anything.
Because we don't want to spoil the dish.
Yeah. So I'm cutting up some shrimp in here, and then we're gonna make some tostones, which are green plantain, and we're going to double cook them and show you how to make those.
And what do we call those in Jamaica?
What do we call those? Green
Fried
plantain.
plantain.
Yeah, we just call them. Yeah, we don't call it they're called tostones.
Or smashed
Plantain. You know, but we do it all different types of ways. And so I'm going to show you how to cut one. I left one uncut.
Okay, this one.
Yeah. And that you
can give me a knife. I can show you how to do this.
Okay.
I will.
Here. You want that?
What's up with y'all and these big knives?
Use this anyway.
All we do is cut the top, the bottom, and then the slice. My gosh. Oh boy, I tell you.
So you cut down the seam of the green plantain, and if it's hard, because sometimes it won't pop out, sometimes they're easy to pop out when you cut it down the seam, then you can run it under cold water. That's what my grandmother taught me.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Hence why I would need such a big knife. It's not like my own knives. Small, fit my hand.
So I think those beans are done. I'll make sure that they're not overcooked.
Okay, so I guess I gotta show. So doing this and just putting my hand down just to help open it and loosening the skin. So we don't want to break the skin because I don't know how Nadine does hers, but I don't usually try to break the skin. Gosh, I'm terrible. Acting like I can cook. Because then you lose the skin after you fry the plantain to help to crush the plantain.
And that's what I have in the directions. So yeah, yes. And if you break the skin, that's fine. I'm not gonna use those. That's enough. Can you pass me a spoon? Now? If you break the skin,
so here we go.
Yeah, what you can use is you can use a plate, or you can go to your shop and you can buy one. Right, but I bought this for you. I usually have these for my classes, but as you said, you use the skin, and so you want to be sustainable and make it easy for yourself. And so I'll show you how to do that in 1 second. Okay, so we're just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna come back to this as I'm frying the plantain because you have to use what? Well, no, there's gonna be a camera over there. There's a camera over there. Okay. Yeah, we have a whole setup. So we're gonna start frying the plantains, and now there's just shrimp here. Right. Usually I would care about cross contamination, but we all eat the same things here, so it's fine. All right, you want to do like kind of 1 inch pieces of your plantain. You're gonna fry them on both sides for around 1 minute. You're gonna take them out, and then afterwards you're gonna smash them. I'll show you how you can smash them in this, and then I'll show you how you can smash them in this, because most likely you'll have this and not this. All right. So like set up the camera over here, please. So what are the terms that you think that people should know when they're going to Jamaica? Sarah or Kay?
What are some of the terms that people need to know?
Yeah.
Soon come.
Yeah, soon come.
Soon come is.
When a Jamaican says they're soon coming, they mean that they're not coming, or they say that
they're not coming.
Like when you're giving them directions, you're like, oh, just take a turn. Oh, this, that, the other. You know that's going to be 30, 50, an hour. Who knows? I say that I'm Jamaican because I was born in Toronto and lived there for 10 years of my life. And I always went back and forth to Jamaica during my vacations and stuff like that. But I am a person who's on time. I tell people I'm before German time. So that's, you know, how on time I am. Jamaicans are not on time. My whole family, if you say certain people in my family, you're supposed to come at 3 o'clock, you should tell them 1. And they might come at 3.
Right. So soon come is what most people need to realize. One of the most used terms in Jamaica.
Yeah, if somebody tells you they're soon come, they're not coming.
I should ask. Should get some people on here to ask.
Yeah, Sarah.
So let me see.
Sarah is my cousin and my mom's best friend's daughter, and we grew up as cousins. And she's from St. Lucia, but as I said, I mean, I don't know if she's on here or she went away for a second, so I'm gonna start talking trash. I've said to her that she's never found a Jamaican that she didn't love. So I don't know what she would say is the, you know, words that you need to know. But growing up in Toronto and growing up here in Toronto, Toronto is very much the Black people there are either from the Caribbean or Africa, and most of them are from the Caribbean. Black Canadians are from Nova Scotia, and they usually, if you're really a Black Canadian, you came up during the Underground Railroad, and your family has been in Canada for over 100 years, and they probably, you know, escaped to, that's really far. Like, I've never been to Newfoundland and Nova Scotia and stuff like that. It's like really off to the side, and you need to have, I just put oil inside here. So you're gonna put oil, you're not gonna put it as hot as you will when you finish. So I say this is on medium heat. I don't know, can you see? Oh, no. Oh. So like, why aren't we in here? It said we're waiting for the host has another meeting in progress. Oh, can I not? I can only have 2 things on.
If it says the host has another meeting in progress, you may be trying to connect to a different link.
What? It didn't let us go in.
Nadine, can you hear me?
So like, you try and do this. Thank you. I'm gonna turn this around here, so I'll move this a little bit closer. So the colors of Jamaican flag are black, green, and yellow. So that's what I have on today.
What do they mean, Nadine?
You're gonna tell them. Okay, you gotta be able to talk too. I can't say everything. I'm Jamaican, remember?
So the black is for people, the yellow is for the sunshine, and the green is for our landscape.
Yeah. So black people from Jamaica is 97% people of African descent, and much of the Caribbean is like that. You have other islands but the motto of Jamaica is out of many, one people. And so there are all different types of people, but usually the melange mixes with people of African descent. And so there's other islands in the Caribbean, whether it be like Guyana or Trinidad or Suriname, where they have people who Southeast Asian, Indian, but in Jamaica and the other islands, if you look at the description in regards to the Caribbean, where's the other thing that I asked, where's the other plantain? Did you throw it away? No. Where is it? I threw it over to you. Oh, yeah. You threw it away? I didn't want you to throw it away. I want you to wash it off. All right. Here's another one. Thank you. But you have people of Chinese descent, Middle Eastern people. You know, in Jamaica, I tell people the oldest synagogue in North America is in Jamaica.
In Kingston.
In Kingston, and then also, you know, you have Muslims in Jamaica. So, you know, the Caribbean, a lot of people, they don't acknowledge the diversity, but there's a lot of diversity in the islands. So I am cooking one side of the plantain, and I will take it out and then I will smash it and then I will cook it again. While I'm doing that, I'm going to make the dressing, which is some red wine vinegar, so all I have to do with that, the ceviche, is cut up some onion. The vinegar is going to cook the shrimp. The shrimp is actually already cooked, just so people know. I'm gonna put some oil.
Surprising how this one is a little bit riper than the other one.
Yeah, it is riper.
But the skin is
Hard.
harder to get off.
Yeah.
Go figure.
I'll put a little lemon juice in here. I have to
Okay, ma'am.
smash some garlic, right? So I'm gonna just cut these again in 1-inch circles. And you can cut it different ways.
Right.
And then you can cut it in half. And in the Spanish Caribbean,
Do you want me to cut up these onions?
no, I have some onions over here.
Okay.
That I already cut up.
So it says an uncooked.
No, I know, but I.
No, I'm talking about
it. All right, so I have some onions right here. And then I have the dressing right here. So all our aromatics, which are the herbs and everything, are already in it. And then you just mix it together and you let it, for, an hour or two, and then you'll see that all the extra liquid will be soaked up by the beans. And then you can eat this with your fried green plantain. All right, so I'll put this in the fridge for it to get cool. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna take these plantains out and let them cool down a little bit. Are you hungry?
Me?
Okay,
Huh?
are you hungry?
Yes. I'm starving. As we were saying, Jamaica, just a little package.
You know what I'm mad about?
What?
I forgot my anato and I forgot my saffron. So I can't make, I can't make,
You want me to crush those?
yeah, in a second. I'm gonna give you all of them. Try these other ones.
Let me start crushing the other one before they get cold.
Yeah, because you don't want them to get cold because then they
Right.
freeze up. And they're not soft to smash. All right, come over here so they can see. Thank you.
Can I get a fork?
Want a fork?
Yes, please. Yes. Thank you. I don't think you can see me crushing it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me get
Can you
up.
see? Okay.
Let me get up. Okay. So put one in the skin, and then I'm just gonna squash it.
See,
Not as hard as I did.
you can't take your anger out on people when you're doing it because it will break apart.
It would break it up.
It'll break apart. Good.
I'm smelling. Okay. This is much better. So normally what I would have done now is sprinkle it with the salt
Yeah, so you can
before
sprinkle.
before I fry it. Before
Yeah,
I refry.
So you can sprinkle with salt. Haitians soak them in vinegar, and so it gives that kind of like salt and vinegar taste. Green plantain tastes like kind of like a potato chip, like in the tuber family. It doesn't taste like a potato per se, it tastes like a starch in that family.
And so to any of my friends out there that I tell you that I'm allergic to the kitchen, I really am. I'm just under the guidance of Nadine right now.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh, do you want some ginger beer?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I made some ginger beer. Sure. Let me get some ice. Where's a cup?
Okay, so these are ready for refine.
All right. Thank you. I'll leave those for a second, and I'll take these other ones out too. And like, okay, smash these, and then we'll turn up the heat a little bit more, and then you fry them real fast. And then you will have this with the ceviche. Well, I'm saying that you can cut these in half, and in Latino countries, they make sandwiches called chapitos, I think that's how you pronounce them. They're really great. So I'm just putting some ice. I'm putting some ice in these glasses for my daughter and Kay, and of course there is no spoon. Excuse me. So earlier, I made some, this is ginger that has been unpeeled, but to peel ginger, a really good tip is using a spoon to take off the skin, because you only take off what you need. It's very little, and there's very little waste. But this, you can just cut it up and mash it up to get all the flavor. There's sugar in here and water, and that makes a ginger syrup. And so I will put this ginger syrup over the water. I'll put a little bit of lemon. You can use, I just have lemon juice, but if you want to, you can use whole lemon, obviously. And this is a really easy way to make ginger beer. Ginger beer is used, you use yeast. And some people, if you're not really adept with it, it can sour. It can become fermented, which some people don't mind. But this is a way that I show people to make ginger beer that's really easy. So just make the syrup and then just use seltzer water. Did you mix ginger beer growing up?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna suggest keep the stove at the same temperature.
I turned it off.
You did?
Mhm.
Yeah, because
I didn't want
okay,
the,
sometimes it's a little bit hard. The turn ones are actually hard.
oh really?
Mm-hmm. Which I thought, I thought they were turned, they would
See,
be.
that's sweet enough for you. Sweet, okay. Soleil? See, because it's sweet enough for you.
Oh, this is good.
Isn't that a good bootleg?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could see us even stepping it up and put some pineapple in there.
Well, it is, it was pineapple passion fruit seltzer. Actually.
That's good.
So I am just gonna fry these up a little bit. I have to taste the bean salad because I didn't taste it, and I definitely didn't put any salt in it. towel? I don't even know if you can start.
I don't think you need any because you're gonna add salt because you're gonna put it on the
Yeah, here, I just put a little bit just so, and then you probably want some pepper, I'd say, because I didn't put any hot pepper in there.
No, you can't do it. You can't have no seafood without Scotch bonnet.
So
Was that a side? Was that a side?
it was outside. So this is a Scotch bonnet that she's talking about that Jamaicans are known for, habaneros, Scotch bonnet. They're one of the most hot peppers in the world.
And it's
So
very flavorful.
Yes, it's very fruity. So I say to people, it's not only just hot, it's also fruity. And so she's saying that as I cut it without anything on my hands, that you can't have seafood without.
You cannot. That's like blasphemy.
Well, the Scotch bonnets here in America are not very hot.
And this is why you need to make sure you have. If it's only for the flavoring.
Yeah. And so it is fruity, and it is a foundation of like jerk seasoning that a lot of people know about. And we're talking a lot about Caribbean food, about Jamaican food, and I want to make sure that I talk about other food too. So the tostones, they're popular in the Spanish Caribbean. They're popular everywhere in the Caribbean. I like green plantain better than rice plantain. I'm one of those people. A lot of people, they really love ripe plantain better than green plantain, but I'm more a savory girl than I'm a sweet girl. I don't dislike, as she said, you see like these are kind of chunky right here.
Yeah, we're kind of hard. We're hard in the middle.
Yeah. So you usually put paper. I don't know where the paper towel is. So you usually put paper towel here. So I feel like I need to start making some other things. So
How many things are we doing? Being overly ambitious, huh?
I'm like a true Jamaican.
10 pots.
Yeah, 10 pots. So I'm gonna say
between Jamaican and Jamaican.
yeah,
Jamaican
and Jamaican, So I'm gonna make some coconut rice. I was supposed to make some yellow rice, and I forgot the yellow rice. I forgot the seasoning for the yellow rice. Where's my rice? So like there was a container of rice.
That was before, right?
Yeah. So when these are brown, you gotta turn them over.
Oh, here, this. Here's your rice.
So I'm gonna make some coconut rice, and I'm going to first I'm going to saute some onions. And a lot of the foundation of Caribbean food is Creole food, and it's like onions, peppers, garlic, and tomatoes. Sometimes people put, celery, and some other things, but the foundation is onions, peppers, and tomatoes. And so you're gonna see like a lot of things that we make, like whether it is the eggplant, the stewed Dominican eggplant, or the Creole fish, it comes with a foundation of onions, peppers, and tomatoes.
So have you watched High on the Hog?
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of the people and I've worked with some of them too. So Kay asked about High on the Hog, which is a documentary on Netflix, led by Steven Satterfield, who is also the editor of Whetstone magazine, which is like a beautiful kind of high-end food magazine. And so there's a documentary on food from the African diaspora. And they started off in Benin, West Africa, where a lot of, different stews that we're talking about, like stewing food, originated in Africa. So a lot of foods from the African diaspora involve stewing food. So I'm almost done with the plantains, and then I will sprinkle them with a little bit of salt and, serve Kay, the magnificent woman that she is.
That's right.
I am, should I put it over here? No, it doesn't really matter. You can, they can,
Yeah, I think Sarah is back.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't, I mean, so I'm gonna move these so you can see what I'm doing with onions. How to be able to saute an onion really well to coax out the flavor, especially when you're not doing a whole lot. So like, where's the rice? Is this the rice right here? Like, that's not my rice. Okay. All right, thank you. Alright, so we're seeing people, unless you're making like a pilau or something like that, it's kind of soupy. It comes from, it originates in India and Persia. Korean people like their rice very flaky. So
Again.
I'm gonna channel my rice goddess. And what I do, I'm putting like, this is like 1.5 cups of rice, so it's like probably 3 cups of rice. And then we always say long grain rice, which is most of the rice that people from the Caribbean eat. Right? 2 to 1. But what I discovered
You go back to the job that you were
is
doing.
that it's really, if you have 2 cups of rice, put 3 cups of water, not 4 cups, and then go from there. Because really depending on the rice, it's not gonna be shelly, and that's what most Caribbean people want. They want shelly rice. Is that correct?
They do, I know.
Oh, you like
I like my rice soft.
Oh, you like your rice soft?
I grew up with my grandmother.
So she liked her rice soft?
No, she made it for me like that.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Why did you like it like that?
Because like the
Together.
greens.
Yeah.
But some also got a level of rice and peas there.
Okay.
So I like white rice. And there's just something about when you mix the gravy into your rice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So this is coconut powder. It's a lifesaver for those people who are preppers.
Or because we can't get good coconuts here.
Yeah, like I got a coconut because it was 99 cents here, and I wanted Kay to break it open, but coconuts can be $5.
You want me to break this open?
Yeah,
With what?
the back of the knife. Coconuts can be like $5 each, and you can buy 5 coconuts, and all of them be bagged. So I usually don't buy fresh coconuts anymore because they're usually
Too expensive.
they're too expensive.
And sometimes they're not good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the expense of them because a lot of Caribbean food is not the cheapest per se. I'm gonna put another 1/2 cup of water in there. But when it is $5 and it's not good, then you have a problem, right? So you're gonna just turn this up to boil, and then you'll turn it down like regular rice. And I'll put it on the back.
Do you happen to have a thinner knife so I can a thinner knife so because I got the eye. So there's three eyes, but one is usually softer, so you can actually puncture it and get the water out.
You drop a Scotch bonnet pepper in there.
But I need a thinner knife for it.
I don't know about where the thin knife is. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, this is we need like a hammer. We gonna need like a hammer.
Use the back of the knife.
I ain't doing all of that. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
So this is a little bit of the coconut into the flesh. You don't make anything out of a liar. A liar, a liar.
All right. So this is for Kay. I'm serving her like the queen that she is. So
I'm also getting the coconut, the water out. So when the coconut is like this, it's matured. And so the coconut water tends to be a little bit sweeter.
Can you see her?
Tends to be a little bit sweeter.
I can see her, but I still
So,
can't hear. I still don't think you can hear me.
When the coconut, like when you see advertised with when it's green, it's a little bit more refreshing. This is like really condensed and just a little bit sweeter. And a little bit thicker. Wait.
Is it good? Is it sweet?
No,
Oh, is it? Is it sour?
no either. It's just bland.
Yeah.
It's very bland, but you can actually taste the oil because this is the coconut that they would use to make the coconut oil.
So when they make the coconut oil, they spin the coconut in a thing that takes out the oil out of the meat. And I have family members that still make their own coconut oil with coconuts that we have on our land. Right.
And when we have babies in our family, what we do is we do a coconut with garlic. Have you ever heard of that one?
No.
So what it does is, it's like, the baby's too young and you can't give them any form of medicine. But let's say they were, had a bad cold or something, you give it to them. I just need to, you give it to them, and they would either throw up, or it comes out the other end.
Oh, great. Thanks. Thank you for sharing that.
But I'm just trying to tell you, while we at it, talk about home remedies. All right, so I think there's something going on with your thing. It's low battery over there.
Oh, really, too?
Yeah. Yes.
It's like my iPhone, my iPad was charged to 100%. It went down so low, so fast. All right, one moment. So can you ask her for this over to the charger?
Okay, so I'm gonna try this. Now this is gonna be the first time I'm having this.
Yes. So
Ever.
How is it?
Janita's program.
Are you lying or
No, because my face would
I
have
know.
told you.
Yeah, the coconut water is like, you want your coconut water to be nice and sweet, naturally sweet. And if you have people who drink Gatorade, coconut water is a natural Gatorade. Just so you know. All right, so I have the stove right here and going, and I'm gonna make a Creole sauce. And so I have onions that I'm gonna saute.
I think I would do this. I think I would do this. Shout out to you, Nadine.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. So to my friends in Florida, we happen to have that what would these trees?
Oh, yeah.
Remember your
The
girl?
rice, you turn it down. You turn it all the way down. And I think I need to put some more water in it. No, maybe not. I need to put some salt though. Oh, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
I might get a little yellow rice there. Yay, a little bit. I cheated. I used the seasoning that has annatto oil. And annatto is a seed that gives a lot of Caribbean food and non-Caribbean food like cheddar cheese color. It's a natural dye.
Effective and I make some money. Do you understand that even if you have
Oil to release the
a
color.
man will walk past your 60 to make himself in as attractive as you are and go to the monthly girl at Burger King because she knows how to be his
You don't want to saffron.
It doesn't matter what you make, men don't care. When men ask you what you bring to the table, they're simply asking, do you know how to be my peace? Will you listen to me? Will you encourage me?
No,
Will
I
you
need
help
to
me to
onion
pursue
sauce
my dreams and to be a better man and a human being? Are you compassionate? Are you kind? Are you loving? Are you nurturing?
That's all I need.
Will
2
you pray
onions.
with me? Will you pray for me? I'm not here to fight
We
with
need
you, bro.
2 onions.
I want to come home and fight with you too. If I'm gonna fight, I hope you'll fight with
So
me.
in a
and
Creole
fight for me.
sauce,
Are you going to
put
be everything
tomatoes.
that I
It's a
need
good way to
to
use your
today?
like
What I'm
these
really
are
looking for
dried
is
up
peace and stability.
cherry tomatoes that I won't use
I hear
to eat, like raw. It's a great way to use them
you know, making money and all these things.
in a sauce.
Like, well, that automatically makes it mean catch. Look at me, I'm attractive and I make some money.
So you let them cook a little bit and then you'll smash them and then you'll see the sauce get very red.
Attractive as you are and go to the
That's what you want. And I'm gonna cut up some pepper in here too. I'm gonna put a piece of Scotch bonnet pepper in there.
The Scotch wine just makes everything taste so good. You know, agree with me?
Yeah, it does. Like I said, it's floral, so it's not just hot. You know, different peppers have different tastes, right?
How do you want these cooked?
I want them in a dice.
Nadine, can you hear me?
Words that they're doing that has no valid truth to it. Stop it. Who cares what people think about you? It's your life. You control how you live.
You have it on that side. You took a look back.
Oh, here are the peppers.
Next time you tell me you can join them. I'm wearing a t-shirt.
You get a what?
I'm wearing a t-shirt.
Okay. So I'm cooking food from all over the Caribbean. So right here is Creole fish. And so even though Creole like is associated with the French Caribbean, Creole is this notion of intimate understanding and different, you know. And so you just want to cook this So everything breaks down. And I'm going to show you my fish, and I have a green sauce. And so I have a recipe for the green sauce and a recipe for the Creole sauce. And I would just say, like with these things, you have measurements, but my grandmother never opened up a cookbook. I never saw her open up a cookbook in her life, And so you want to cook with your instincts and your intuition, and you want to be able to wing it. So, Soleil, oh shoot. I have a little bit of shrimp water, which is going to fill in for the fish stock, right? And then you just let that boil up. Okay, these are as dicey as you will get them. All right. Because I'm using a serrated knife. All right, so I have this fish right here that I'm gonna put green seasoning on. And green seasoning, so green seasoning is something that, most Caribbean households use. You use your parsley, your cilantro, depends like thyme, pimento, garlic, onion. It really depends on your family, and you mix it all together, and it becomes a seasoning base for your proteins, right? So I have some on there, and then I will make sure that they get all over, especially on the inside of the fish. So it's like your pre-flavor, and then usually you would season this up from the night before. All right, so I'm gonna let that get really a little bit thicker, and then I'm gonna put the fish in the Creole sauce. And so that's just a simple steamed fish, and then I'm gonna put okra with it too. Because a lot of people don't realize that the Caribbean eats a lot of vegetables. And oftentimes you're not going to see that at the restaurant because okra spoils easily. So they're not going to put it in the food because unless it's eaten. That's a special order. Yeah, exactly. Like you'll get a special order of fish and steamed okra, for instance, Mm-hmm. And so here is okra lady fingers. They were brought from Africa to the New World, and plenty of people will steam this fish also. Steam it, put it in a packet, in a foil packet, wrap it up, and then either put it on the barbecue or put it in the stove or steam it. So I'm gonna put the fish in there. And then at the end, I'll put the okra because I don't like my okra slimy, especially if you're gonna reheat something. I do not like it slimy. You have an onion? Okay. So I'm gonna move this over to the side and I'm gonna start making the curry chicken. So this is what you call a Dutch pot. This is what you, I'm gonna heat it up, get it hot. A Dutch pot is naturally non-stick. It's like a cast iron pot for the Caribbean. Right there.
I think a lot of the southern people have Dutchies too.
Yeah. So all over the Caribbean, people have the Dutch pot. So I just covered the shrimp to steam it. I don't know if you can see it. To steam it some. I am heating up my onions. Need some garlic. I left my good knife at home. I actually left my good knife in New York. I have to go get my good knife. Carrie, like a true Jamaican, is washing the dishes already, and I wish I could tell her no, but I am so appreciative. I'm not even gonna lie. So here is the rice in the back. I'm flaking it up. I'm trying to see if it needs any more water, but usually you can just turn off the rice or put it in the oven to steam out. Yeah, cover it with foil to let it steam out if it's a little crunchy. So I gotta see. It's a little crunchy. Yeah, so it needs a little steam, a little bit of water. Put a little bit of salt. So a little bit of water, and then just cover up the rice and let it steam till it's cooked. But it's nice and shelly right now. It just needs a little bit more cooking. Just a little bit. What's good about making Jamaican fish is that you can't overcook it, right? You cannot overcook.
Because we want our food cooked.
Yes, Jamaicans want their food cooked. All right, so the fish needs some salt. It needs some pepper. So I'm just caramelizing my onions, because the more you caramelize your onions, the more flavor and sweetness and goodness it gives your food. And then I have my curry chicken that is already seasoned. I'll probably put a little bit of curry in the pot. Yeah, just so you burn the curry, just like in Indian food, which, you know, curry comes from East Asia. Kay always likes me to talk about curry because, like, a lot of people feel like curry is all the same, and curry is not the same. There's so many places around the world that have different versions of curry, and Southeast Asian people came to the Caribbean as indentured servants after the enslaved were given their freedom. And so they brought these spices with them. And so there's not one thing that is a curry if you go to India. So I'm gonna put the chicken in there, and it is kind of a small pot for what I have. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna put any water in there. I'm just gonna let it make its own juice with this cover, because this cover is really tight. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit and let it make its own juice. Curry chicken is one of those things that people from the Caribbean have. Oh, people from the Caribbean have every week, basically. Like sometimes like you have curry twice in a week. You're like, I don't want any more curry. But because it's so easy to make and it's so delicious, that it's like one of those things that everyone should know how to make curry. Would you agree?
Yep. So then you have the curry chicken, curry shrimp, curry lobster,
Yeah.
curry fish,
Curry vegetables.
curry vegetables.
You know, if you're in Trinidad, like for, you know, your roti, you have dal, which is yellow split peas, and chana, which is, well, chana is a split pea. Well, chana is the chickpeas, and then dal is the yellow split peas. And so you have that curry with potatoes, you know. So, you know, every culture in the Caribbean has some type of curry. And depending on where you are, like Jamaican curry is gonna have more allspice, and Grenadian curry is gonna have more like cloves and nutmeg, because Grenada is called the Spice Island. And so in Trinidad and Guyana, their curry is gonna be more pungent because they have more mustard and more cumin and coriander and those spices in there. So I'm gonna put a little bit of water in my fish. I wish you could see it's too heavy for me to remove it. So I thought that was important to make a curry. I was gonna make curry shrimp because it's a lot easier and faster to make. But I said, what is more people eat curry chicken than that's the most popular thing, right?
Right.
I'm gonna put just a little bit of water to start making the gravy. And if you use a bigger pot, it'd be a lot easier. But you work with what you have. You just need to put a little bit in because you want it to make its own natural gravy from the fat of the chicken, right? So I'm just gonna cut my okra in half to put in the fish, and I will turn off the fish because the fish is basically done. This okra is hard. Ooh. Sometimes the lady fingers can be hard. So the last couple of things that we have are dessert. I'm gonna plow through. I'm gonna like, let's try and make this now. I don't even know if we have enough pots. So you can also, in here, you can also put, if you wanted to, pumpkin, callaloo, stuff like that, Jamaicans like in their steamed fish. All right, so I'm gonna move that. I'm gonna make this these beans.
Need a spoon?
I'm gonna say, yeah. Thank you. All right, so I'm just gonna turn off the heat on the fish because I don't want the, I don't, yep. I don't want the, so you see how this is making a natural gravy? All right, and then I am going to put some oil in here for my beans to cook up my other onions. So I boiled some red beans, small red beans before, or pink beans. And then we're just gonna, what we're waiting for right now is to saute. Let me move this over so. What in the pan? It's over there. All right. So I'm just sauteing these onions, and then they're gonna go in here with some tomato. I have some bay leaf. Some garlic. And of course, I forgot my sofrito too. But sofrito is just onion, peppers, garlic, cilantro. So you can just isolate those and put those in there themselves. So, Kay, can you talk about the Caribbean American, Jamaican American Association?
Jamaican American Connection?
Yes. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
we started in 2010. And it was a way for us as a community to be of support, to share our culture. A lot of us are, our kids are born here, and they don't necessarily get immersed in the culture, depends on who you are. I am forever a Jamaican. Some people are not. And so we also raise money for scholarship each year. We have a Trailblazer Scholarship Banquet. And that's what we raise money for, scholarship, and all the money would then go towards any other kids from the Caribbean, not just Jamaica.
Hey.
Yeah. And then next Sunday, we have the Caribbean Festival at Goshy Park.
And talk about it. Why should people go?
Why should people go? Well, for one thing, you can wear your colors. That's one. Two, we should have representation from all the islands. I think we have Dominica, not to be confused with the Dominican Republic. Two different countries. One, I think Dominica speaks French, Creole and French, French Creole, and Dominican Republic is Spanish.
French, yeah.
And I think we have Trinidad, Grenada. Yeah, that's all I can think of so far. Because we still have the super mentality even when we're here in the United States. Yeah.
The fish is definitely done.
You were very ambitious with your menu.
Well, I know, because I don't like, when I go to cooking class, I cannot stand sitting there and like people drive out and
You have a lot of stuff going on.
I know. And
And it's hot, guys.
I know, it's really hot.
It's really hot.
And the air conditioning's on.
Right.
So there's the onion. Okay, can you cut up 2 more onions for me, please? I love you. I love you. I love you.
Don't forget, Kato allergic to the kitchen.
All right, so then you put in onion. I put in some tomato sauce. And then I'm gonna cut up some calabaza, which is Caribbean pumpkin. Oh, perfect. Put a little water in here. You want to get soupy. Ooh, that was a little hot. That looks too small. So I have to cut up some. I'm gonna sit down next to cut up some calabaza. Oh, it is not actually calabaza. It is kabocha or kabocha squash. That is kind of like calabaza. Also, butternut squash is like calabaza. I need to share this with you for 1 second. Really? I might have to put this inside the microwave. It's so. Hi. So, this is the pumpkin. you cut pumpkin smaller because you don't want to cut yourself, and you can easily do that. And if you're feeling uncomfortable, then what you can do is just put it in the microwave or put it in the oven for a little while, and then it will become softer. But the skin can be kind of hard. And
you need a good knife.
Yeah, you need a good knife. So I am just peeling off the skin. I'm doing a hatchet job. I don't know if you can see me. Like, I don't know if I want them to see me doing a hatchet job.
She is,
because I don't have the best knife.
yes.
So I'm trying to make sure that,
She a mermaid.
yeah, that I watch out for my hands.
Because you know who ain't going to Yale?
You know, well, a dull knife is never good with chopping. People don't realize that. You want to get cut, if you're going to get cut, you want to get cut by a sharp knife. So you just make it smaller to make it more manageable, your pieces.
But I will say, guys, that she is overly ambitious, because I would have done one dish. Actually, just an appetizer, an entree, and dessert. But no, we decided to do a full 10-course meal.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do the last two vegetables, like, because I'm so hot. Well, you're doing the onions, so I probably won't. I'm so hot. I want them to hose me down after this, for real.
But I need to have another meeting to go to.
What time?
As soon as you release me. All they told me was that it's capturing me.
Are you having any trips this year with Sisters Jamming?
No. One of my traveling partners, she passed in October. I'm sorry. So it's kind of like hard to go on a trip. I mean, I know I have to take that first trip, but it's.
Because you missed her.
Yeah, I'm not ready yet.
Yeah, I get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so sorry.
So you just cut big chunks of the pumpkin and we'll cook in there. You want to be big chunks because pumpkin can cook down, and I know that I love pumpkin. I love to get chunks of it. It's kind of sweet. And I did this dish because I was going to do black beans, but I wanted to do something that has some other vegetables in there. And this is a traditional dish from Puerto Rico, and a lot of people don't feel like they have a lot of vegetables, and they have things with vegetables, and this is a great dish that showcases that. And how many islands have you been to?
Oh, let me be so embarrassed to tell you 3.
You have to be embarrassed.
So I teased my friend from Dominica, who's also my partner. I would consider her my partner in anything to do with Caribbean experience here in Haven. So I'm always teasing her to go to Dominica until we get a real big airport. Between like she showed me pictures, videos of the plane coming between the two mountains.
Okay.
I'm like, girl, I ain't ready for that.
Oh, do you have to go to Puerto Rico or something?
Yeah, I think I go to another island and then fly over those small planes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, not
into
yet.
that?
Not yet. Not yet. We were supposed to go to Trinidad next year for a friend's 50th.
She's gonna be jumping in carnival. So we'll see.
She's gonna be what?
She wants to jump in carnival.
Okay.
So that will be in February.
Well, that'll be interesting.
There's a contingency from here that goes to that carnival every year.
Okay. Well, Trinidadian Carnival is so much fun. So everyone, I have to cover up the rice tight because there's a hole in the cover. And so it's not steaming it all the way down.
You put water on top?
Yeah, I just put
No,
water.
on top of the foil. Have you
No.
tried it that way?
No, But, nope, I have not. So I'm just gonna close that up with the foil. And I keep on forgetting that the stretch pot,
Keep burning, so.
yeah.
Okay, ma'am, your onions are ready whenever you are.
Okay. It just tastes like. The curry chicken tastes good.
You still want the other onions to be cut up as well?
I don't even know how to do that.
It's now 7:31.
Huh?
It's now 7:31.
I know. I can finish everything on time. You don't have to worry, but I don't know if I want to do everything.
You won't finish everything in 30 minutes. 29 minutes.
Yeah, I will. But I don't know if I want to do everything. I don't know if I really want to. I don't know if I'm going to do. I might just do the. I don't even know if I want to do the dessert.
It's hot.
It's very hot. But I might just do the bananas. I won't do the
I'm just very impressed with you. See, we can't call you Jamaican anymore.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You didn't taste the food yet.
No, I'm just talking about the fact that you're just so overly ambitious that you want to do all of these things.
I tried. Well, it's like, when you're talking about Caribbean food, you want to try and do everywhere.
I mean, you want to represent all the
Yeah, so you want to try and make sure,
I totally get it.
and so that people don't,
Jamaica is not the only island in the Caribbean.
Yeah,
Understand that.
Well, that's enough. That's enough onion for it.
As a Jamaican, I always have to say that Jamaica is not the only island.
All right, we're just gonna do some steamed cabbage, which is really easy. So a lot of people, when you go to a Caribbean restaurant, you like the steamed cabbage.
I know.
Well, people, I guess,
I like nice cabbage with crunch. I like cabbage and saltfish.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You know what I said I was gonna do? Actually, I'm gonna do the Dominican eggplant because most people that's harder. That's not really that hard. Here's the eggplant. I charred it on top of the stove, and I use. I'm gonna take some of the skin off, but I use some of the skin. I'm gonna take it off in the sink. So what I like about this is that it's charred. You char it, or you can bake it in the oven, and then mix it with onions, and then tomato, and you can put pepper in there too.
And that's the eggplant.
Mm-hmm. And so that's like kind of like Dominican eggplant, but once again, the stuff is stewed.
Does anyone know that you have a full evening gown?
I don't know. Did people know that I have a full gown on? I came. I have yellow shoes too, but you wouldn't be able to see them, so it didn't make any much sense to put them on.
You may have to turn the pot down a little bit more.
No, I don't.
I mean, not the pot, sorry, the camera.
Oh.
Yeah. So do you prefer cooking with gas or electric?
With gas. Yeah, better control. All right, so I'm gonna put my eggplant in there. I'm gonna mash it up and then put the other bit of tomato sauce that I had that I just put in the beans. This is one of my favorite things. If you can find it at a Dominican restaurant. Oh, wow. Open the window door. Open that up all the way so that thank you. So because so here is the curry chicken, right? There is not enough places to put things. I'm gonna make a small thing of steamed cabbage because I do have enough time. And I'm showing Kay that I do have enough time. Start off with onion. Might put a little bit of garlic. I don't feel like chopping up any more garlic, but I will in this one. Please.
Because I know you will come back again and ask for another piece of garlic.
Oh no, I think that's it. Because after that I'm just making the banana.
I don't trust you. You say you will make everything, so let me
No, I'm not making the mango food because I've done that before. I've used whipped cream and made mousse. And so it's the same thing. Instead of using chocolate, all you do is whip up some cream with a little bit of powdered sugar and with some mango puree. I have fresh mango, and you just mix it together. It's really that simple. But I am going to show you how to make this bananas flambe because that is fun to make.
Yeah, this is one of the things that when we go to Mexico.
No?
When we go to Mexico, there's a lot of that.
What, the flambe? Yeah. So this is shredded cabbage and some carrots. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. I'm just putting a little bit of vegetable broth, and I'm keeping it vegan. And then I'm using this as a cover for the pots that don't have a cover. All right, so the beans are done. Where's the other thing? Here are the beans, the red beans, the calabaza, pumpkin, and you have it over the yellow rice that hopefully is cooking. So I'm just gonna put a little seasoning. This is my trick. I put a lot of jerk seasoning, especially Blue Mountain, because it has no salt in there, but it has all the flavor of what you put into making food. So that is thyme, allspice, garlic, onion powder, paprika. So it has all those flavors, but it doesn't have the salt. So it makes it really a great thing to season a lot of things with. As Kay said, I don't like my cabbage well cooked. I don't like it cooked all the way down. So I'm going to take that off because things cook for 5 more minutes on the stove, you know? So I'm going to wash up this cast iron pot, actually make the bananas in there. And we're actually going to end early because I am so hot. And this is the last week of school.
She got 15 minutes.
I have 15 minutes, but I could do everything. I'm only going to do this last thing though.
What's your name?
I didn't like, but I want to make sure. Right, so you put a little bit of butter. Put a little bit of oil so it doesn't burn.
Are you gonna take pictures and put it on online?
You want to? I mean, I'm so tired. Like, I wanted to play everything. I'm so tired. That's sugar. All right, here's the bananas.
Okay, the skin. Use the banana skins for real plants. Can see them how?
You want them?
We make banana water for our plants.
Yeah, banana water for your plants. All right, and then I have some rum. This is really fun to do. You see it's becoming a caramel. This is really fun to do. If you have company over and you want to impress them. So,
Don't try this at home.
all right, see that? Just be careful. And then it cooks off. So that's bananas flambe, famous from New Orleans, but I think that people know that in New Orleans,
The Haitian influence.
yeah, the Creole, Haitian, Caribbean, it was a pork town. So there was a lot of intermixture from the Caribbean and that part of America.
But wasn't Louisiana owned by the French?
Mm-hmm.
And so the French had owned Haiti.
Yep. So I'm just saying that there was a lot of intermixture, of going down there.
Yeah, but I don't think a lot of people realize that, you know, it's not just the intermixing.
What do you mean?
I mean, intermixing was there, but it was.
I'm talking about the culture.
Oh, the culture.
The culture. I'm saying that the food of New Orleans is very much Caribbean adjacent. You know,
Right.
like I'm talking about that, the art, the clothes, not like just the miscegenation.
Okay.
I wasn't even talking about the miscegenation. Miscegenation is mixture of black and white people together. I wasn't talking about that. Although there was that, it was more so the mixture of cultures. All right, so we are going to end and say goodbye. Do you want to sit down and say goodbye? Oh. So, I don't know. Maybe I should show everyone the food.
You do that.
Show
the food.
everyone the food.
That's right.
It's like I'm not even hungry now.
See that she won't be taking pictures.
Yo, so can you see Rose? Can you see that? Rose?
I
Rose,
take
are
it
you
you still
here?
can't hear me.
Rose?
You need to turn your audio on.
All right.
There's a whole bunch of people in the chat.
Have you turned it on yet?
So that is the curry chicken. Bananas flambe, steamed cabbage, Dominican eggplant, Puerto Rican red beans and calabaza. steamed fish, Creole fish with okra. Yellow rice. Let's see if this yellow rice. Yeah, that yellow rice is fine now. That yellow rice is fine.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Plantains. And then we have some of the cabbage fell on my ceviche with shrimp. It's been a pleasure.
It has.
To represent my culture, that I'm Jamaican. I'm feeling very Jamaican. It's very, very hot. It's my pleasure.
But she did a great job.
You
You
know,
know, really good chef, man.
thank you. I didn't make one thing. I didn't make the mousse, but I made that before a couple times on here. So all it is whipped cream and a little bit of sugar and whatever you want to add to it. So that is it. So thank you. Tomorrow we'll have co-create with Ife Gardine. You know, it's a beautiful day. If it's not, we'll be inside. Come make art with us, and we're going to talk about co-creating and being creative and creating something from the ground up. She is the founder, one of the founders of Elm City Lit, and this is his second year, and she can talk to you about how it all started and all that. So if you want to start something great in New Haven, you know, you have Kay, you have Ife, you have all these people that I brought on to hopefully give you inspiration. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to Nyam now. Nyam means to eat. All right, soon come. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Sayonara.
Bye.
Bye, Rose. Don't know if you're there. Oh, there's 12 people out here. Oh, bye.